Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video we're going to be comparing the real versus fake Juvia's Place palette. So my inspiration for this video came from watching a Facebook live video, and the girl that was doing her makeup said that she got her lashes from AliExpress, and I'm like, AliExpress? Why would you wear lashes from AliExpress? But the lashes look really good, so I decided to be nosy and I did some snooping around on AliExpress and I found some lashes. So after I added the lashes to my cart, I looked around and I saw some eyeshadow palettes. So I'm like, this is interesting. They had some dupes of the Urban Decay Naked palette, they had some Kylie Jenner dupes, they even had Huda Beauty dupes, and then I saw this Juvia's Place palette. Everybody knows Juvia's Place is known for their super pigmented shadows, so since I had the original Saharan palette from Juvia's Place, I thought it would be fun to compare both and actually see how they stand up against each other. So I'm actually going to apply them on camera so we can see how the fake palette compares to the original. Okay guys, so I have done most of my face already, and this is the real palette. Wait, no, mine. See, I'm confused already. This is the real palette. I marked it with a little bit of marker here so I don't get confused. So this is the real palette, this is the fake one. I'm going to open them both so you can see what they look like. And these are the palettes together. So again, this is the real, this is the fake. I'm going to do the real on this side and then the fake on this side. I already put some setting powder under my eyes so it catches any fallout because I did most of my face already. So yeah, let's go ahead. So I'm going to be using different brushes for each palette. I'm not going to be using the same brushes in any of these palettes just because I want everything to be true to color and true to the palette itself. So for the real palette, I'm going to be using this Wet n Wild blending brush. And I'm going to be taking the shade Jamila right here and using it as a transition shade. Now everybody knows that the original Juvia's Place palette is super pigmented already, so that's to be expected. Now to the fake palette, using that same color Jamila, we're going to take, where's my blending brush? Okay, we're going to take this blending brush from e.l.f. and go into this shade Jamila. So right away I could say that there's a big difference between the two. I feel like on this eye the real one came off just a little bit kind of brownish. This one is a little bit brighter than this one, and this one is super pigmented as well. I don't even feel like I need to go over it a second time. I think this is good enough, so we're going to move on. Okay, so the next blending brushes that I'm going to use, I know somebody's going to think they're the same, but they're not. I actually have two of them from e.l.f. because I like these brushes, so I bought two, and I'm going to use one for each palette. So we're going to take this one and go into the real palette. We're going to start to deepen the outer crease. Oh, by the way, I'm using this shade right here, Sokoto I believe it is, and we're going to put that in the outer crease and on the lid. I'm taking it a little bit into the crease. Not a little bit, all the way in. And now I'm going to start building that up on my lid right here. Ooh, that color is super bright. Okay, so I want this to be a little bit brighter on the outer corner of my lid, so I'm going to take this flat top brush here and pack that color on some more. Going into the fake palette, I'm going to take Sokoto right here. And we're going to pack this on the lid as well. I do feel like I have to work a little bit harder for this color to show up though. I want to add this shade right here on half of the crease, but I don't want to use concealer to clean my lid up because I don't want anything to really help the shadows to pop. So I'm just going to go in with a flat top brush and apply the shadow right on the lid as is. Okay, so that is the shade on its own. I'm gonna use a little bit of setting spray to kind of wet the brush a little bit. Okay, so that's it for this eye. I'm just going to take this flat top brush and I'm going to go into wrong palette. I'm gonna go into the fake palette and we're going to use the same color right here and first apply it without any setting spray on my brush to see if it's as pigmented as this one. Okay, Ling Ling. Okay, so you guys can judge for yourself, but you see that it's not showing up as pigmented as the original is. You have to really build this up for it to start to pop. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end my misery and spray some setting spray on the brush. I don't know. They look like two different colors to me. What y'all think? Yeah, this looks like two different colors to me. Okay guys, so you saw me apply the shadows from both palettes. I do feel like some of the shadows are really pigmented, especially the Jamila shade. Even though it was off in shade, it wasn't the correct shade of Jamila as the original palette. It was very pigmented. Some of the shadows weren't that pigmented, which you can expect. I mean, the palette is only $6, but I feel like if you put work into building it up, it'll actually show up. If I was to wear the shadows from like the fake palette by itself, I don't think anyone would be able to tell the difference. If I actually put work into building those shadows up, I don't think anybody would be able to tell the difference. However, I don't recommend really buying dupes from AliExpress and stuff like that, because when I went back to look for this same palette, the palette was nowhere to be found, the seller was nowhere to be found. So God forbid I had, you know, questions about my order, my stuff got lost, I would have nobody to contact, and that's not good. There's this website that I used before. It's called shophouse.com. They have a ton of dupes, and their really hot dupe right now is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, and Jackie Aina actually did a real versus fake on that from shophouse.com. Now they have customer service that you can call them in case something goes wrong with your order, or you just have questions in general, so they're more reputable than AliExpress, I would say. And they've been really popular on Instagram and stuff like that, so I'm not sure if you guys have seen any of their ads, but if you follow like a lot of makeup pages, you'll see sponsored posts of like their ads on Instagram. The website is really cool. They have a number of dupes and they're really affordable, so I recommend that site over something like AliExpress, where the potential is there for you not to find the seller after you've made an order. That's my 2 cents on these palettes, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you take a chance on the fake palette, or would you just go ahead and buy the real one? Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!